Hi friends. Firstly, I filmed this video once already and the audio died. I don't even I wanted to have a chat, make a video, get some feelings out about how I am not enjoying this pregnancy. That was ridiculous because we went through a lot to get here. Back on the baby making injection train.
This morning Rupert was like, "What are you doing, mummy?"
Your period has not started. That's the positivity that we're going for. We're waiting. Right, no one's supposed to wait 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's absolutely too long.
Yeah.
And it feels so... I think when you go through infertility, there's this feeling that all of the treatments and the procedures and everything that you go through, it's all going to... It makes you feel so anxious. It makes you feel so constantly scared, like you're always living on the edge. It's always... Your life is lived in these 2 weeks of meds and waiting and meds and waiting and then you think, I'm going to get this positive pregnancy test and everything's going to be okay and it's going to be wonderful. And we did have that. And then we got a bombshell.
I can actually see a third heartbeat
What?
for you guys.
What?
I think one of the embryos has split,
What?
which can sometimes happen.
But you can tell from the title of this video that baby number 3 didn't make it through Christmas.
I'm pregnant with twins! I always think it's a bit weird when I say I'm, because it's like we're pregnant with twins, but I guess it is just me.
Yeah. For those of you who are new here, hi. Well done for clicking on a video with someone you don't know. Very brave of you. Hi, I'm Jessica. It's my wife Claudia who's currently pregnant, and she was also pregnant the first time round with our son Rupert, who's now 3 3/4, almost 4. And the pregnancy, that time it felt so much easier. Like, yes, we had to do IVF to make him happen. He was our first round of IVF, the first transfer, there he was. And even though we'd done sort of various IUIs before and whatnot, it did feel like, oh, of course, well, yes, this was sort of, in a way, not easy, but like it was just meant to be. Ah, lovely. And the pregnancy itself was pretty smooth. It was in lockdown, which made it, some parts of it nicer, because we were in a little bubble. It was just us in our home. It was nice in a way. This time it was harder to get pregnant, and we experienced loss along the way. And then when we finally did get pregnant and we did get that positive pregnancy test, it felt amazing and it felt wonderful and it felt like, oh, finally. But there's still at the back of your mind that little doubt because of what you've been through so far. Then we went to our first scan and it's triplets. Suddenly there aren't the congratulations anymore. Suddenly there isn't this, it's almost like it's a secret, like it's a and all anyone talks about are the risks and all the bad things that are going to happen, and how your babies are probably going to have this condition, they'll develop this in the womb, and they'll be born very prematurely, and they'll therefore have this and this, and it will affect them in this way lifelong, and you'll probably lose the pregnancy anyway. And it's just so crushing. But also, we felt so alone and so scared because we don't have a lot of family support. Claudia's mother passed away when she was in her early 20s, and her father is almost 80. God, I think he's 80. Yeah, he's 80 soon. Like, he's not the most, not gonna pick up a toddler. And we don't have that like, quick, call the grandparents, they can come and help. And we have friends who are great, but they have their own young children, and it's hard to not feel jealous sometimes when you see the support that they have from their families. But that doesn't... I still thought... Sorry. Oh, I'm gonna get a tissue. It's actually toilet paper. just to show you the level of how well we are not doing right now. Yeah, we've been spending most of our time focusing on work, making money, and Rupert's mental health, because obviously, like, his mental health is far more important than ours, right? He's the beautiful blank slate, and we can deal with our stuff together and by ourselves, and later go to counselling, whatever. But that he cannot. he's a baby. Yeah, so we're not doing very well on making sure our house is stocked. Supermarket shopping, not really happening. I can't make my mind believe that the two are going to be okay. And I know that it's... And Claudia has this thing about how it's fine, like they have a beautiful guardian angel sister looking after them, and they're going to be fine. And I keep thinking that if we lost one, then we're just going to lose the other two, and that is not helped we have to go in every 2 weeks for screening, and there's, which I think it should help, right? It should help. All the ultrasounds should help know that they're okay. But because it's always this, we're testing for this and this and this, and they might have this and that and that. So our twins are modi. They share a placenta, but they each have their own amniotic sacs. And the risks there are, like, because they share the placenta, one of them might start getting all of the blood and the other one none of the blood, and that can be obviously an issue. Or one of them starts having a growth restriction and the other one keeps growing, or there are so many things. There's so many things. But yeah, so they each have their own amniotic sacs. So I thought the membrane between two twins would be quite taut, but it's actually really floppy, and you can see on the ultrasound how they can touch each other through it, and like it bends all the way over them, and it's like it's so beautiful and amazing and wonderful that they have that. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I just want them to be safe, and I hate knowing that my local hospital takes babies from 26 weeks. And if they're born next week, they can go there. But I don't want that for them. I want them to stay in as long as they can, be the most cooked they can be. I feel like we're stuck in a very weird limbo where we've got a room for the babies. This is like it's a big sticking point for me, and I know not everyone has a bedroom for their baby before it's born. Like, does a baby even need a bedroom before they're born? Kind of, yes. Where do they keep their stuff? But I can't help feeling like we're falling into this limbo of being like, are they really coming? Are they really going to be here? Because we haven't really moved our house around for them. Like, we have 4 bedrooms. The one we sleep in, the one Rupert sleeps in, the one that I work in, film in, and then a room that's a kind of, like, it's just big enough for a double bed. It's the guest room / the room that has a large built-in wardrobe where Rupert keeps his books. And that is where we are going to be sleeping when we worked out we can afford a night nanny for 2 nights a week, because we will need our sanity. And as I said, we have like the family, it's not like there's someone else, so I don't need to justify why we need sleep. It's okay. And so we'll be sleeping in that room. She'll be in our bedroom with the babies. But then it's like, where do the babies go? So I think we build a home office in the garden. That seems so expensive. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Work somewhere else in the house. But then I have lights like drilled into the ceiling here. I don't know, maybe you're going to say it's a silly thing, a silly, small, inconsequential thing, but just having a room that's theirs makes them feel like they're definitely going to come. In the same way that having clothes for them does. And I Claudia doesn't actually let me buy that many clothes. So yes, maybe the bedroom thing is silly, but it's just like a thing that's really bothering me. And I can't tell anymore whether my worries and concerns are big or small or normal or not. Like, we went to the baby show, which is like a large conference hall, and it's got different stands in it, and in each of the stands they're selling a baby thing, like it's a shop. So each of the, one of them is a shop that sells baby grows, so they've got some of their baby grows, and one's a shop that sells pregnancy pillows, so they're like, oh, look at our pregnancy pillows. And then there's an area where you can get like try out buggies. They only had one twin buggy available to try out. Not good. Definitely should have been a twin area, but there was not. And I noticed when I was there, this other thing that I had completely forgotten about. I think in the whole medical drama of these babies, I'd completely forgotten the gay thing. Being a non-gestational mother. Oh, yeah, what? Because Rupert is now, he's almost 4. Nobody asks me anymore, like, oh, how did you give birth? What was your breastfeeding journey like with him? Nobody asks me that. Now I still occasionally do have to put up with people being like, wow, yeah, giving birth was the transformative experience that made me into a woman. I don't think I'd be a woman unless I'd given birth, whilst I'm standing there in the group. And I'm like, I shall remain a juvenile forever then. Yes, parenting. All you really need to be a mother is just to... No. There's a lot more to it. So, and at the baby show, I started to notice this experience as I was going round, which was that I was treated differently. Claudia was treated differently to how I was treated, and I was treated differently depending on whether she was there with me or not. And at one point she got tired, obviously, and went to go and sit down with Rupert and have some ice creams. And I went to the stores that we'd sort of said, oh yeah, let's definitely go and check these out. And I had some really awful experiences. Like, there was just one lady did the whole body check, looked me up and down thing, and was literally like, where are these twins? And as someone who has infertility problems, like, that sucks. And I don't mean infertility problems just because I'm gay. For those of you who are new here, hi. I have some disabilities that mean I have some physical stuff going on, so I can't, it would be ill-advised for me to carry a baby within my womb. And I also take a lot of medication. But the actual being pregnant wouldn't be advised. So it's not that we, as a couple, made a decision about who was going to carry based on, who wants to, who's the more inclined to do so, or who finds it fits best into their life. I mean, I would probably be the one, but I can't do that. So thank goodness I'm a lesbian, When God closes a door, he opens a window. I'd just completely forgotten that, oh yeah, right. Feeling weird and excluded. So yeah, that's a thing, of course. And even when it comes to getting therapy, because so at the hospital, Claudia was offered therapy for the loss of her baby. And I wasn't, because I'm not the father. I'm not the mother either. No, not while she's pregnant. Once she gives birth, I am on that baby's birth certificate, and because we're married, and these are my children. I went to every single appointment to have them made. I watched her inject herself every single night. I love and care so deeply for them, but they're not mine. Not yet, apparently. And I'm devastated. And it's all going to get better. Whenever people ask us, what are we scared of? What are we anxious about? You know, there's a lot of, when you're having twins, the number of people who say like, oh, congratulations, compared to the number of people who are like, whoa, rather you than me. Oh gosh, it's gonna be terrible. Wow, you're never gonna sleep again. Yes, the negative Nellies it's a lot higher. There are many, many negative Nellies, and joy, not very helpful. But they sort of say like, what's the worst part? You know, what are you really scared about? What are you most anxious about when it comes to having 2 babies? Both Claudia and I just, nothing, absolutely nothing. Nothing scares me about having 2 babies or having 2 children and them being okay. Like, why would I possibly be worried about these 2 lovely little ones just being in my arms and being safe? I just want them to be safe and be okay. Oh, and you know, if something happens, if something is wrong with them, I hate using the word wrong. Like, I don't know, I'm wrong, right? I'm abnormal, but I'm a perfectly wonderful human being. If something has happened, and if something, whatever it is, I feel like we're the best place to look after them. Even when the doctor's reading out like the list of potential things that could go wrong, and she's like, well, they could be deaf. I'm like, well, golly. No worries, ma'am. I got that covered. I just want them to be here, and then we can spend our lives making the 3 of them very happy. And maybe I'll eventually stop thinking about how there should be 4 of them. I should have 4 children, but 3 is the most wonderful number. Rupert and his lovely sisters, who are gonna love them so much. And it's all going to be fine, and I am going to be fine, even if I have to paint this entire room pink and put bows everywhere. Just so I feel good. I mean, to be honest, they'll probably not even be into pink. Just Rupert and I. It's just our favourite colour. Probably going to end up with 2 complete tomboys like Claudia. But it's fine. Rupert and I can go to ballet together. They can go to forest school with Claude. She'll be delighted. Finally, someone to go to forest school with. Okay, I should probably end this here before I cry all of my makeup off. So sorry. Oh goodness. So sorry for my face. If you can't tell, I've run out of my Estee Lauder mascara. The one that actually sticks to my eyelashes. This one is not doing the job. Absolute failure. Thank you so much for watching. You have my little breakdown. Thank you for understanding. You've all been so amazing. I think sometimes just sharing my feelings helps me to process them, and I think it's always good to sort of say where we're at with things, and why maybe we don't like post, and why maybe we don't post as much as some weeks as we do others. Maybe it's because like we had to go for more tests that week or something, and we don't necessarily say what's happening in real time, but you've all been really wonderful, and thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh. And thank you so much to the members of the Kellgren-Fozard Club, because my goodness, you guys make it possible for me to have a maternity leave so that I can actually be there with my wife and my babies, because weirdly enough, being a YouTuber does not come with maternity benefits. Who knew? So you're it. Thank you so much. And for anyone else who's also going through this, or a husband, or was in a similar situation, just know you're not alone. It is tough. Sometimes it's completely okay, and you just not forget, but it just gets better. And sometimes it sucks, but it does improve. It does improve. My tears, oh my goodness. Wow, cannot stop them, right. Ooh. And I think the most amazing thing is that Claudia and I are here supporting each other the whole way through, and we obviously each have our own ways of coping and dealing with things, and she's much more of the like practical day-to-day, okay, let's just get through right now, and I'm more of the, but what will we do in 5 years time? Where will all these children be sleeping when they're teenagers? And we each have our own difficulties with, you know, babies bring up emotions. Claude wishes her mother was still alive and could be here, and thinks a lot about what an incredible parent and thinks a lot about what an incredible grandparent she would be. Rupert already loves his pawpaw. Even though he's never met her. Just because Claudia speaks so highly of her. And I feel so much for her that she doesn't have her mother here. But we have each other. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video where I probably will not be crying. Hi, if you're new here, I don't cry in every video at all. Subscribe for some non-crying content.